Ho ho! How are you approaching your debut as Real Madrid's coach at the Santiago Bernabéu? And how's the team before tomorrow's match against Osasuna?
Well, we are all facing it with excitement, with expectation, eager to get the season started after the break. It's been 2 short but intense weeks, and we're ready to step back onto the Bernabeu pitch. For some, the last time there feels closer. For others, it's been a while, and for some, it will be their very first time. All of that adds to the team's eagerness and surely to the fans' desire to see their team back in the stadium. We want to start well against Osasuna. The first match is always important for many reasons, and tomorrow is the day.
Mastantuono, did you speak with him to convince him to sign for Real Madrid? Now that you have him under your command, have you seen him? What do you think? Did he surprise you? Is he what you expected?
The first time I spoke with him, I was very surprised by his personality. He was 17 at the time. The second time I saw him, he was 18. But really, he was already a man at 17, very confident in himself. He had no fear about making the move to Real Madrid. Since his arrival, you can already see his maturity, his hunger, his quality. In a short time, it's clear he will integrate very quickly with the team, both in the locker room and on the pitch.
What level of identity or development do you see in your team, compared to what you tried to implement during the Club World Cup and what you've worked on in these past 15 days?
We are taking steps forward. What level? It's hard to measure. There's no real thermometer for that. But yes, we're making progress. Of course, we still have a number of steps ahead of us, but the main ideas, the fundamentals, we had already started to introduce during the Club World Cup. And now, in these 2 weeks, with the training sessions, the friendly and preparation matches, we've reinforced them. From here, we'll continue to move along the path. The feeling is good.
I wanted to ask about the squad. We asked you back in the US during the Club World Cup, when pre-season was just starting. Now there are still 2 weeks left, but do you consider the squad closed with Mastantuono, or could there still be an exit or an arrival? Would you like one?
No, I'm counting on everyone we have right now. And those who are here, I want them all at 100%. We need everyone fully committed with the necessary energy and attitude. At this moment, I count on all of them.
This season, there's strong competition at right back with players like Carvajal and Arnold. Do you already know who will be the starter, or do you see yourself rotating them game by game?
What I know is that it's fantastic competition. And I really like having 2 players in each position who can play and want to prove they deserve the spot. Then it's up to me to decide. Sometimes it won't be about fair or unfair, but simply that I'll have to rotate. We have many positions doubled up. On the right, we have 2 players, Carva, who's been training much more and is much closer to his level, and Trent, who's just arrived from Liverpool. That's great for the squad's level. We have many matches ahead, and we need that level.
Now it's final that Madrid will play tomorrow without moving the match to a later time. What do you think about the fact that the league didn't give you that option, considering you reached the Club World Cup semi-final between the 4th and today? How satisfied are you with the preparation time?
Well, as you say, now it's set in stone, but of course, our request, mainly for the players' health, to respect their recovery after such a long season and to have a bit more preparation time would have been nice to receive that support, but in the end, it wasn't possible, and it is what it is. We've only had 2 weeks, and there's no point looking for excuses now. I believe the team can compete tomorrow, and will try to. I'm convinced of it, because often desire and heart push more than legs, and tomorrow we want to get started. We want to return to the stadium, connect with the fans, and make people enjoy themselves.
A lot has happened since we last spoke with you 40 days ago. One of those things involves LaLiga. I imagine you're aware of that famous match Villarreal and Barca want to play in Miami this December. I'd like to know your opinion. You grew up in a more traditional football. You played in a more traditional football. What do you think about this idea from LaLiga? And do you think it distorts the competition, as the club itself and others have claimed?
Yes, I very much agree with the club's statement. At the start of the competition, we all knew the rules we were playing under. And if the rules are to be changed, then it has to be with the unanimity of all the participants. So I don't think this fits right now. All the clubs in LaLiga should have been consulted beforehand. So yes, I fully agree with the club's stance.
I'd like to ask you about a name that's been talked about a lot. Lamine Yamal from Barcelona. How do you see the Lamine Yamal phenomenon? Is too much pressure being put on him? Is he putting pressure on himself? How do you assess all this?
Well, a bit like before, I don't have a pressure meter. I don't know exactly how much pressure, but yes, he's developed a lot in a short time. He's become an important player both for Barca and for the national team. And well, soon it will be our turn to face him.
In the US, you spoke a lot about distances in the team, about playing more compact. I want to ask you how Vinícius and Mbappé have absorbed that message, how they're working on it, how you see them. Because the feeling last year, and even when they coincided at the World Cup at PSG too, is that maybe this part of the game is harder for them.
Well, it's about making sure all the lines are aware. Of course, for the forwards, it's important that on transitions they don't get left isolated. Not just those two names, but everyone who plays those positions. And at the same time, when we attack, the defensive line has to push up and the midfield line as well. We don't want to just leave it to the forwards and see what happens. We want to function as a team, everyone engaged in what each play requires. That will help us keep better distances, both when defending and when attacking. If we're too spread out when attacking, then getting back is usually harder and with bigger distances. So today it's very important to be aware of this. I think we took a step forward during the Club World Cup, maybe not on the very last day, but it was something we kept very present and we've been working on it.
A new era begins. Madrid is excited about your arrival. What promise can you make to the fans? Will Xabi's Madrid play good football? Will Xabi's Madrid win titles?
I've always been more about doing than saying. Promising before doing doesn't usually work in football. What I can say is that we're working and there's excitement, you can feel it. We're also very eager. We want to start this new project with new players and new coach and bring that energy to the stadium. But then we have to deserve it. Just saying it won't make it happen, otherwise it would be meaningless. We have to earn it. And tomorrow we want to start that path that can take us where we want to be in May.
You said the defense has to push up when pressing, and it's the line that has been most renewed. My question is, how do you choose the leader of the defense? Do you choose? Does it happen naturally on the pitch? How is that decided?
It has to be natural, intrinsic, it has to come organically from them. And yes, we have players who are communicative, who transmit energy, who already in a short time are making their presence felt. That's very important for everything to stay connected. Communication helps your teammate, but it also helps you to stay involved in the game. And it's not me saying, you are the leader, you must be the leader. No, that has to come naturally. Leadership isn't imposed, it's generated by what someone transmits to the rest, and there can be more than one leader.
The club has been very outspoken over the years about referees. I wanted to ask, from your perspective in Germany, did you feel Real Madrid was mistreated by referees?
Well, let's see, we're just starting the season and we'll see how things go. Hopefully we won't have to talk too much about referees, and I don't want to start talking too early.
I wanted to ask you about Rodrygo, how he's doing these days. His name is surrounded by a lot of transfer rumors. How is he, and what role do you see for him, especially in tomorrow's match?
Well, in the summer, there are always many rumors about many players, but I've seen Rodrygo well. As I said before, I count on everyone. And those I count on, I want them fully committed to the team, for the team, and at 100%. That's what matters to me right now.
La Liga has just started, and we already have the first big refereeing controversy on Saturday in Mallorca. Did you see the Mallorca-Barca match, and what's your assessment of what happened?
Well, I don't think it's my place to be commenting on everything that happens in other matches, but yes, I did hear what Iago Barasate said, and I think he explained it very well.
I wanted to ask about Mastantuono. You just said he's adapting very well. What can he bring to the team? And could he already get minutes tomorrow?
Yes, he could get minutes tomorrow. He will bring quality, energy. He's committed defensively. He has good drive. He has that, in a short time I've seen, he has that Argentine warrior spirit, that grit, but also quality. He's combative and has a spectacular left foot, both on set pieces, final passes, and finishing. And he's young, as you said before, a young but precocious player who we need to guide, but he's already at a very good level.
I wanted to ask you about Brahim Díaz, who started in the only friendly you've been able to play apart from the match against Leganés. How much has he surprised you? And if tomorrow he could be one of the new faces in the lineup?
No, I've seen Brahim well. I already knew him. And what Brahim gives you is something different, how he understands his position, how he creates different things, how well he connects with his teammates. In tight spaces, he's excellent. He's two-footed. He finishes very well. So no, he hasn't surprised me because I already knew him well. And yes, he's in the squad and could play tomorrow.
I wanted to ask about some comments from Franco Mastantuono in his presentation when he said for him Messi was the most important player in the world. In my view, this was overanalyzed. Did it cause any effect internally, or did you give him any kind of recommendation about the repercussions his statements could have?
A recommendation to tell him who his favorite player should be? To me, it makes perfect sense that his favorite player is Messi. Being Argentine, being left-footed is not a surprise at all.
If I'm not mistaken, tomorrow marks 11 years since your last time at the Bernabéu in the Spanish Super Cup against Atlético de Madrid. How do you think the stadium has changed? The fans have changed. How have you changed? And how would you like your relationship with the supporters to be?
My relationship with the fans, the memory I have is very good, very good. I even returned once with Bayern in a Champions League match, even as an opponent. And the relationship was good. I felt the affection, and now the role is different, but I'm excited, I'm motivated, I'm eager to feel that connection with the fans again. Time has passed, but I've always felt that bond alive wherever I've been, the connection with the club, with the people. I'm not prepared in a set way, but whatever happens will happen, and I'll feel what I'll feel. I'm just happy to be back.